Alright, so today I wanted to talk a bit about mpali. It is a telenovela slash series slash telenovela slash series slash soapy that has been running in Zambia for a very long time. The show is written by Mr. Frank Sibuku, who has been writing this show for the longest. He's the, I think, writer slash producer. I don't know how they credit those things. Because this show is been, for it to reach the way it is, he's really good at it. But the one thing that I would like to point out this in this video specifically, please note I'm talking about the characters that are portrayed in the show. I'm talking about the characters, not the actors. I'm talking about the characters that are played by the actors. And remember, this is all in a fictional in a fictional setting. By that I mean it's writing, not really. Yeah, there might be some points. There might be some certain plot points that are similar to real life situations, but most of it is under a fictional setting. We've gotten that out of the way. But this whole polygamous life of Mr. Nguzu, oof, to be honest, if you look at it, it's you actually do feel sorry for Mr. Nguzu. And then on top of that, you feel sorry for him, but Mr. Nguzu himself also piles on the problems on himself. Because, okay, let's go down. Let's go through it. So we have my guru, right? This is the first wife Mr. Nguzu ever had. And she unfortunately had to be a polygamist because Mr. Nguzu decided to marry Mwiza. And it was also I think it was an episode mentioning that something about the parents were involved. She didn't want to be involved in this whole situation, and I think it's one of those frustrations that builds over time because imagine it's just the two of you, then you become 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, it gets. Oh, it's actually 7. 8 was the white woman Nancy, and Mwiza. Oh, sorry. Before we get to, she has in the first season she had a child with Mr. Nguzu, goes by the name of Hambe. Then it was revealed that Hambe was not Mr. Nguzu's biological son. So yeah, he got cheated on her. Then we go to Mwiza. This is the one that is deemed to be the one that Mr. Nguzu loves the most. And with Mwiza, she takes on the role of a church-going person. She's very forgiving. She's very humble in a way. But now that I watch the series, I think most of the decisions that makes it seem as if she's a good person she makes, it's probably because of guilt, because she's definitely living a double life. Because at a particular point in the series, she was dating a teacher called, I don't know, I think was it Mr. Zondani? Then later on in the series, when they lost the farm, Mr. Nguzu, at that point, she was booking a house for rent. And then she expected Mr. Nguzu to get her a separate house when she knew that they lost the farm. And so which means that he had to save money where he could. Then later on, she started, what can I say? How can I say this? She was teasing, or should I say flirting with Mr. Albert, who was her former lover or crush when she was younger. Whilst she's still with Nguzu, she ends up getting very close to Albert. Eventually, I think she was staying with him. And Mr. Albert did a lot for him, whilst she knew that she was married to Mr. Nguzu. Then later on again in the series, she started flirting again with the man with the grey beard. I don't really know him, because at a certain point I stopped following. I do watch some clips here and there, Yeah. And eventually, something. I hate that she has a school with him, but she cheated on Mr. Nguzu so many times. Then Shupiwe, it's not that cheating, but the type of the type of bad thing she did to Mr. Nguzu was her. A certain point in time when Mr. Nguzu was keeping money in his closet, she stole the money and then opened a bar. And then the family members that she brings, and then Mr. Nguzu is always so welcoming because logic, I would have fired that guy a long time ago. Someone that's constantly insulting you. She also has is that a daughter, Tionenji, that Mr. Nguzu keeps as his own. But she stole money from him. Not that bad. She came on later in the series. She's like a teacher. She's a doctor. Then I don't know if she's a teacher or something, but I just remember I've forgotten her name. But there was that one episode. I think that's where she was introduced when Mavuto got shot, and then she was the one that saw him and took him to the hospital. I think that's why I assumed. Anyway, let me not get into that. She later on marries Nguzu. She knows that she's entering into a polygamous marriage, but she wanted to go ahead and get married to Nguzu, to get married to Mr. Nguzu with a white wedding, and like a civil, how can I say, I don't know if is it a civil, but white wedding type of marriage, knowing very well she was entering a polygamous marriage. So even though she was not the face, she wanted Mr. Nguzu all to herself. And she has her own issues, so many. I don't know how Mr. Nguzu, and that's another character flaw of Mr. Nguzu. And it's been stated so many times in the show that Mr. Nguzu, he marries anything with a skirt. It was said by one of the characters, because she is all types of crazy. I don't know why Mr. Nguzu forced this on him, because that's another guy. He's easily amused. Because there was a point in the series when they were celebrating Mr. Nguzu's birthday, and then Tionenji, who is the niece to Monde, started dancing provocatively, and it's weird that the niece started dancing like that towards Mr. Nguzu, because at that point Mr. Nguzu just accepts her as her daughter, and he was smiling, and you could tell that he was aroused. And if they did not intervene, I assume that girl would have been another wife to him. Anyway, then we have Tamara. Oof. Tamara. Ooh. That one is another one, because she was, I think, the character in a shop she was selling, and then Mr. Nguzu saw her, then took her off, then took her out of that type of life, then brought her in. And then I think this was in the very first few seasons of the show. She started going out. She started doing the deed with Hambi, who is Mr. Nguzu, who at that point in time was Mr. Nguzu's son, before it was revealed that he was not the biological son to Mr. Nguzu. But at that point in time, that's Mr. Nguzu's son, and she went out with him. Then later on in the series, she went to college. And as she was going to college, do you know what happened? As she was going to college, she met up with a student, and then she started going out with that student. Then later on down the line, she started going out with Mr. Nguzu's nephew, who is Shadrick, a lawyer, and even him, that guy is just another case on his own. So, and Mr. Nguzu at that point considers Shadrick as his own son. So already going out with two of Mr. Nguzu's son. Monday, the JoJo master. I think she's the underappreciated one in this show, because it's one of those things whereby she doesn't get attention, so she reverted to using charms and juju in order to keep Mr. Nguzu. And I think that's a reflection of things that do happen in real life. Using juju to force someone to love you can lead to very bad things. To be honest, yeah, she did end up cheating with Mr. Nguzu with a police officer. Yeah, what was his name again? Anyway, I don't know. Cheated with him with a police officer, and to be honest, she's not as bad as the others, but oh wait, she went out with Gyros, I've just remembered. She was also going out with the original son. At that point in time, it was not yet announced that it was Mr. Nguzu's son, but she was going out with Gyros, who was at that time was just a worker at the farm. She was going out with him, so she also cheated. Ish, Mr. Nguzu, how do all these women, hey, you might start even questioning his choice. Then we have Tombi, the character. Her character, it's weird, because at first she seemed okay, then she had an encounter with her ex who was abusive, so she took care of that problem by ending him. But she does have an arc where she becomes a drug dealer, and her son Mavuto, he also starts doing drugs, and then he funtas a bit. And I think this is just, and among each other, they're always fighting. There have been so many episodes about land disputes, trying to grab whatever they can, conning Mr. Nguzu. There's also that episode where Hambe scammed a certain person with tractors from Mr. Nguzu's farm. They were not working. I don't know. It's funny because Hambe, he has his own thing. And this video, I'm just going through like the main characters of the show. I won't really go much into depth with the kids and the sons and daughters. That could be another episode on its own. But I think this is a really revealing, or how can I say, symbolic type of show. Yes, it's taken as comedic, but there are a lot of life lessons to take from this. There are a lot of similarities of what happens in real life. But otherwise, as of good, Mr. Nguzu, this man is going through a lot. Constant bickering and whatnot. They're always fighting each other, and there's so much going on that you think, And also he just speaks anything. That's just me going through like a brief overview. Maybe I might do a part 2 with the kids and how they are living their own lives. But Mr. Nguzu, just imagine, he's married to 6, and almost all of them have cheated on him. It's weird. And then there's Nancy, who also cheated on him, that later ended up dying in the show. Otherwise, that's all for now.